Hello ENC students, this is your Professor Michael Blumenberg. The purpose of this video is to lend you some assistance with what I'm expecting from you related to Week 3 coursework. So I'm on the Blackboard homepage, and I'm going to go down in the blue box and click on Weekly Assignments. Then from there I'm going to go down and click on the Week 3 folder. Okay. As always, the best place to start is with the Coursework tab, and it's always uploaded as a Word and PDF file. And I'm just going to click on the PDF file just for brevity's sake. And this lets you know, of course, each week what is expected from you. So the readings this week, first thing to note, there is no reading from the ebook, though I have just recently linked the ebook for reasons that I'll talk about in just a couple of minutes. But you do have the assignment sheet for the essay, and it does relate to Wes Moore's The Work. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. Speaking of Wes Moore's The Work, I did give you some reading to work on there. The Worker 1 in Chapter 2, pages 25 to 48. And these are reading assignments and really the first place to start. Submitted assignment-wise, you do have a pre-writing activity related to your Why My Life Matters narrative essay. We'll take a look coming up very soon about some strategies that you can use to be successful on the assignment. I'm actually going to walk you through 3 different strategies. I'm going to show you in your ebook where you can find the strategies listed. And an actual draft of the essay is also due. Please note your due dates are Sunday, February 28th for both of these assignments. Because you've got a lot going on drafting-wise, I'm not giving you any discussion board assignments this week. We'll get back on track with those next week. And as far as the My Writing Lab goes, we're going to start working at a faster pace. We're looking at about a module per week as we move forward. We, of course, are a much condensed class because we start it later than most classes. So the craft of writing is due on Sunday as well. So those are all the things that are required this week. I'm going to go back to the Week 3 folder. And before I go into the e-text, I want to pull up as a PDF file the essay assignment, just so you understand. This concerns the question of why my life matters. And I've given you a quote from Wes Moore's The Work. It's actually from page 15 of the introduction. He says, when you find yourself clutching onto your life like it's the only thing that matters, because you suddenly realize it is, you start to ask other questions too. For instance, why does my life matter? So in a 2-page essay, you are to address why your life matters. And your job is to construct a point of view showing why your life matters. And by the way, your life does matter, so sometimes students like to kind of be sarcastic about it. My life doesn't really matter, but trust me, it does. So what I'm looking for, just so you're clear, is an introductory paragraph, body paragraphs, and a concluding paragraph, 2 pages total. Strong thesis statement is also good. You've done some work now with thesis statement. And so I go over some guidelines of what I'm looking for there. And more importantly, I'm looking for you to put your heart into the topic and really dig deep to show why your life matters. And of course, the due dates for the pre-writing and essay are mentioned there. Now, if you have questions about what I'm asking you to do on the essay, you always feel free to email me. Go back to the Week 3 folder. And we're going to talk about the pre-writing assignment. There's the link for both that and the essay draft. And it's just as always, I'm just going to click on the pre-writing activity just so you can see. The due dates are always listed along with the points. And you're always going to use the Browse My Computer to attach your file. And then once you do that, you're going to, over here in the corner, click on the Submit option. And that will send it to me. The comments box, do not copy-paste to that. That's just if you want to leave me a comment about your assignment. And the essay draft is the same kind of thing, obviously, just a different assignment. Now look at My Writing Lab, then we're going to go back and look at the e-text and talk about the pre-writing activity. Okay? So you've been working the first couple of weeks on basic grammar, and because the pacing of the class is picking up, we're going to go roughly a module per week moving forward. So you have the craft of writing this week, so I just wanted to show you. It's really about writing process, so it does tie into some of the things that you read about going back to last week, from writing process all the way down to editing the paragraph. Remember to work your recall and apply before you do your post test. And so that's what we're really looking at in terms of the lab. So I'm going to go back. And what I want to do is I want to pull up the eText for just a minute. And I want to show you specifically where you can go in the eText to find some information on pre-writing, and you will get more comfortable with this. I'm always zoomed in on this. I'm going to zoom out some. But up here in the corner where we see Browse and My Searches, I'm just going to look at some different strategies. And to start with, I'm just going to go to page 105. Okay, and this is where you'll find some information about what you need to do for your pre-writing activity. The first strategy is free writing. So free writing is a popular technique for generating ideas, narrowing your topic. That's where, in a timed manner, you write in journal form just things that come to mind, not worried about spelling, punctuation, and grammar, that kind of thing. So that's free writing. We'll do some work with that in just a moment, but I just want to move forward. I'll just use the little arrows up here to click to the next page, because the next thing you'll see is brainstorming, and that's just the free-flowing, free association list of words or ideas. And you see in the box that it gives you an example of just kind of putting your topic out there and then just jotting down ideas that come to mind. There's no such thing as bad ideas here either, by the way, so keep that in mind. Clustering, that's the visual representation of how things come together in terms of your ideas. And again, we'll work through it. But notice pet adoption. And then you really branch out in 4 ways from that to types of pets, pet overpopulation, unwanted animals, and available agencies. Then each split off has its own little subpoints as well. With available agencies, you have for free, neighborhood, nonprofit. And this is a really neat tool, and I'm going to show you how you can do clustering using Microsoft Word. It's actually pretty easy to do, but it's like anything in life. If nobody shows you, then it can become a little challenging. So I want to pull up a Word document, but I wanted to show you in your ebook, it's 105 to 107, to find that information on pre-writing. So when time for you to work on your pre-writing activity, the thing to remember is that the purpose of the activity is just to get ideas, so this is not the actual draft itself, though both of those are due this week. So one thing I want to do is I want to give you a 10-minute time requirement. That is to make sure you spend at least 10 minutes working on this assignment. You might want to time yourself, and you might also want to do it by hand to start with, because you can find it's a little more spontaneous by hand. Then all you have to do is transfer it over to your Word document. I just find it easier that way anyways. So I want to start with what we find first in the book, which is free writing. Free writing would just be putting your topic, why my life matters, and then from there just sentence form, almost like diary form, listing of reasons. So you just kind of list it out in short form. Well, my life matters because da 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 da, and then you just write nonstop for 10 minutes. That's the key to the exercise. Anything that comes to mind, put it out there. If you find that you're running out of things to say, guess what? Put that out there too. The idea is that if you get it out there and write it down, then your mind can recenter and get you back focused again. So that's free writing. There's also what we talked about before, brainstorming. You just write it out, why my life matters, and then you just jot your ideas. It's not sentence form, but it could be like I'm a parent, I'm caring, whatever the case may be. You're just making a list, and again, spending 10 minutes, that's the key. And you're only required to do one of these topics, so you don't have to do free writing and brainstorming. You're just required to do one of them. And then finally, clustering. And actually, because clustering takes up a little more room, let me just go ahead and take these off. If you need to see this, you can always back up the video. That's not a problem. But I just want to take that off, and I want to add in clustering. And so this is interesting because, like I say, sometimes students aren't real sure about what to do with how clustering works on a computer. Up at the very top, you'll see File and Insert. You just want to click on Insert. And once you click on that, there's going to be an option under Illustrations for Shapes. And you just want to click on that. And once you do, it's going to bring up all the shapes that you can choose from. And I always just choose the oval. So I'm going to click on the oval. And then it's going to make my cursor like a plus sign. But then I can just bring my oval in. And I can always move it to make it as big or small as I want it. But I'll be satisfied right there. And so I'll put in there why my life matters. And the cool thing is, if you go back to Insert and back to Shapes, there are lines. So all you got to do is select the line, and then you can attach your line in there as well. And then back to Insert and back to Shapes for the oval, and you can connect it in. And again, you can make these as big or as small as you want to make them connect. And so it does become a pretty easy process. But again, I recommend you do it by hand first, just so you get some spontaneity to what you're doing. That way it becomes a much more natural flow. Then you can just transfer it over to your Word document. So that's clustering, brainstorming, and free writing. Try your hand at one of those for the pre-writing activity. I hope you found this video helpful. Good luck in working on your pre-writing and your draft. Look forward to reviewing them. If you have questions, as always, email me. And hopefully you'll find the ebook helpful as well. Take care, and bye-bye.